What's going on, world? Coming at you guys again. We got another quick video. Criminal justice reform. Let's talk about it. So, if you guys aren't aware, currently there is breaking news that's happening out of Chicago to where allegedly over 250 alleged American citizens whom have been convicted or are going through the process of being convicted, whom were on some form of electronic tracking or a tether of some sort, are missing, unable to be located, and allegedly they've either cut their monitor, or the monitor is dead and they can't be located, or something like that, right? Now, a lot of these individuals, to my understanding, are individuals whom have been consistently charged with multiple crimes throughout the years, with each charge varying from minor to major, right? And this is one of the situations and issues in which I've brought up before about the criminal justice system being specifically designed for accountability and incarceration. And that's not what it's for, because it's unfair to the person and it is unfair to the taxpayer. The purpose of incarceration, of prosecution, is to teach an individual a lesson that their actions are wrong, but to also show them a better path so that they won't act upon it in the future, right? That's the form of rehabilitation, to say you made a mistake. Depending on how bad it is going to be dependent upon how much rehabilitation you require in order to facilitate your capacity as a character to be a normal functioning human being who is just safe to not only themselves but to society as a whole. So that's the transition from incarceration to just to rehabilitation, right? Because as we continuously move forward, when we don't rehabilitate American citizens, they get out and commit more crimes and commit more crimes and commit more crimes. Or all we do is just lock somebody up for a minor incident, and then they end up being surrounded in an environment in which is filled with individuals whom are significantly worse than they are from their own character and personality. Then just like a fruit who is sit side by side to another fruit that's molding, through environmental exposure, that other piece of fruit will become infected and they'll get worse. Now, this is why I talked about this before. The application of life sentences, the application of death sentences, right? These are immoral actions because we are a nation founded on the teachings and the beliefs of the Bible. So we have to transition from incarceration to rehabilitation. We have to transition from life imprisonment and life imprisonment and execution to deportation and exile. That's exactly what God did. When Cain killed Abel out of malice through jealousy, God did not kill Cain. He did not incarcerate Cain for life. He exiled him. He sent him to a foreign land to say, figure it out. I hope it works out for you. This is the same consideration. We have to understand and recognize these applications, right? The reality of the situation is we have areas specifically designed around the world. If you are an individual who makes a mistake, then you have the capacity to go through some form of rehabilitation to show you the error in your ways, to show you different methodologies in which you could have utilized in order to improve your situation and not go down a negative or immoral or unjust or criminal act in which puts you in a position to where you harmed yourself or harmed other people, right? And so we give you the benefit of the doubt because it's innocent until proven guilty. And if you're proven guilty, then we give you the opportunity to rehabilitate, become a better person and a more contributive member to society. Because it's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, right? Because this is how it's all sustained. America is the Garden of Eden. We are the most diverse country on the planet. So with that being said, as we consistently move forward, individuals who refuse to adapt and adopt our sociological norms and mores to become a safe and competent and compassionate individual here in America, well, unfortunately, the only alternative, because it's immoral to kill another individual and it's immoral to give somebody a life sentence, is to deport and exile to the birth country of your parents, your grandparents, or your great-grandparents. And if there's nothing like that to where they don't want to accept you either, well, it's the same correlation and consideration we would have said before. Desalination plants in countries that are heavily reliant upon desalination plants are destroying the country. They're destroying the world. They're destroying the oceans. They're destroying the carbon footprint. They're the biggest threat to human existence. The deserts are there for a reason. If you do not want to become an individual who has the capacity to try to adapt and adopt the normative sociological roles through the norms and mores of a stratified society, then you leave us no choice but to put you into an environment to where you can do whatever you want, with whatever you want, with whomever you want, and that will be the desert. And then God have mercy on you, because at the end of the day, we can only give individuals so many chances before we have to recognize the type of person that they are. Through an MRI and MRA of the brain to see how their brain is functioning, to see how it is developed, to see what's injured, to see what's right, to see what's wrong, through psychotherapy, psychology, through counselors and job placement, and so many other resources that we have in America. When we've exhausted all of these factors, well, the unfortunate reality is we have no choice but to deport and exile these individuals, just like God did with Cain. And the reality of the situation is, again, we have over 250 American citizens that are unaccounted for, that are already in the system as criminals or in the process of defending themselves from becoming criminals, but they are unable to be located. The average cost to house an American citizen in a jail or prison is up to $50,000 a year. Out of 250 people, that's over $12.5 million every year of taxpayer money. This has to stop. We have to bring America back. We have to make America great again. This is the Garden of Eden. We have to have compassion. We have to have sympathy. We have to have empathy. But at some point, we have to understand, sometimes you got to let it go.